Good afternoon, welcome to the vlog for today, Wednesday 14th of January. Hope you're all good. Excuse me, that's not a good start, is it? I'm just going to start today WhatsApp groups. I know they're all the modern rage now. You have a WhatsApp group for everything. Obviously, being of the age I am, a little bit more of a dinosaur when it comes to these things. I've got one for our friendship group. And when I was at Arsenal, we had loads of the things. We had a staff and players WhatsApp group. We had a staff only WhatsApp group. We had an operations WhatsApp group, which is what the kit department fell under. We had a group for all the kit men and women in the league, and we had another group for all kit men and kit women throughout all levels of football, from Premier League, international level, all the way down to non-league. And they're great in some ways because they're a source of information and a source of help. But on the other hand, I've found them an absolute pain in the backside. You go to a meeting for an hour and I came out and I've got like 50 odd different messages all over these different groups. So when I left Arsenal and I've come back to being a courier, I've got rid of them obviously, and just went back to the one, which is the friendship one. But I had one land on my phone last week, and it was a courier one. I have no idea where it came from. It was Index Couriers. I guess they got my number from CX or somewhere. I wasn't the only one who was sort of grouped in as a new person on the group that day. Of about 5 or 6 of us. No idea about the company. Did a little bit of research, but there wasn't an awful lot around. There was a link that I could join to receive work, but I didn't say that up. I just thought I'd see what the group was all about. I left it for about a week, just under, and there was some odd jobs come up. It's more like a Shipley thing. Oh, there's a desk that needs to go from A to B, and there was some discussions on there. A bit we got involved in about delivering water down to the affected water areas in Kent and Sussex, and bits and pieces. But I came off it on the weekend because I think on Sunday there started being stuff about football, and I love football. Nobody loves football more than me. But if it's a WhatsApp group for courier work, then just keep it in courier work. And if it's going to start branching out into football and maybe politics and other things, I couldn't be bothered. But good luck to it. If the guy, I think it may be Craig, I might be wrong, from Index Couriers is watching these videos, thank you for inviting me on, and good luck with it. But it just isn't for me at my time, my stage of life, and what I'm looking to try and do in the courier game. I'm going to go on briefly to today. There won't be a lot today. Looking for a job yesterday afternoon. There was a couple of interesting things came up. There was a job from Clacton going to Portsmouth. Now Clacton's about 15 minutes from where I live. It was an 8 o'clock collection for a large van. Now there were some red flags come up with the job. It was a company that I think in my very first week on the CX I did a job for, and it was a long wheelbase job then, and I quoted a price. I cannot remember what the price was, but I'm pretty certain they gave me a phone call and said the job's yours, but you need to be £10 less, which I went with. Collection was between 3:30 and 4:30. I wasn't too far away, so I arrived literally at 3:30. I do remember that. And the client there said, "Oh, it's 3 pallets. It won't be ready till 4:30." I did ring the shipper then, and their instructions were, well, it says pick up between 3:30 and 4:30, so there's no waiting time. And it was one of these. It was a fulfilment centre. No problems with the guys there at the fulfilment centre. They've got a job to do, and obviously they're putting all their parcels. But it was 3 pallets of parcels, and it went to an Amazon depot and down in Tilbury. And if you've been to those Amazon depots, you know what they're like. There's vans everywhere. It's basically pretty much unload it all yourself. Nobody wants to sign anything. It was chaos. So I didn't enjoy the job. And then to put the final cherry on the cake, payment at that time was 45 days. I was doing work for anybody, as I think you all do when we start with the CX. And I didn't get paid after 45 days, and I had to send some chasing up emails and phone calls, and I did eventually get paid. But I made my mind up then I wasn't going to work for that company anymore. I won't name them because it's probably not fair. Anyway, they were the company that were offering this job. As I say, Clacton down to Portsmouth. It's 150 miles, large van. Their payment terms have now changed to 60, which is an even bigger red flag. So everything was telling me don't touch it. But I did actually put a price on it at £200. I thought I'm never going to get it. But I put 200 on. And in the event I do get offered it, keep my fingers crossed that the Smart Pay facility for immediate payment was available. And if it took that down from 200 to 170, I still think I've got a decent price for the job. And obviously get immediate payment. As it goes, no great surprise, didn't get that job offer, so no great loss, but yeah, just one of those things. There was another job from Colchester, from my postcode, CO7. They don't come up very often, and I knew what this job was. I've done this from this pickup about 4 or 5 times, I think, and it's normally just a very small pallet or some boxes of fruit samples. Got quite a few farms, fruit farms and vegetable farms around our way, and these samples go off to supermarkets to, you know, be checked and see if they're good enough to be put on their shelves. And this one is a small van job going from Colchester up to Nottingham, 140 miles. Probably again a little bit overpriced. I went £140 a mile for a small van. Might be slightly ambitious, but I wasn't going to do that job for any less, and it probably is my number one supplier of work. So I thought that allows me to put a £1 a mile price on, and I think normally they wouldn't be too worried and I get the job, but I guess, you know, because of the low value of the actual goods I'm taking, not that that should be an issue, there probably wasn't that money in the job. And it's another thing as well when people talk about your feedback is so important. I've still got 100% feedback. I think it's about 360 positive feedbacks, no negatives. Means nothing. You know, at the end of the day, that didn't mean anything. It's going to be purely based on price, and I'm sure somebody probably got that job for about 110, 120. Good luck to them. I didn't really want to go to Nottingham for that figure anyway, especially if there's a possibility that there's no job coming back. So I did eventually get a job, and get another little interesting one. It was from Braintree going to Hemel Hempstead. Now, I've done this job quite a few times. I've actually done it for 3 different shippers. It's normally out there as a large van job and 1 pallet, and I've always got £80 for it. I've always quoted the same money on all the 3 different shippers I've done this for. This time it was coming up as a small van, 1 box. So I just adjusted my price accordingly, £70. And I got that job. It's a shipper I do a reasonable amount of work for. Yeah, they give me a call pretty much straight away with that. So I knew where it was. I knew exactly where it was going. And it was an 8:30 pickup. I arrived there just before 8. The office there doesn't open till 8. So I thought I'd get there early anyway. I was off site by 8:10. It was a box, and that was it. And hour and 20 minutes, I think it was, down to Hemel Hempstead. Simple 5 minutes, not even that, to get the box off. And I was empty at 9:30. I've sat around in Hemel Hempstead for about a good hour and a half when I got myself a cup of coffee, as I like to do that time in the morning. There were some jobs around, not an awful lot. There was a job from Hemel Hempstead going up to Stansted for a small van, 40 miles. I put £50 on that, possibly slightly ambitious. There was a job from Waltham Abbey, which was about 20 minutes back down the M25, literally going around the corner, small van, 5 miles going to Enfield. I put £40 on that, didn't get that. And there was a job from West 3, Acton, going to Upminster, and that was sort of interest to me, and I've got to I'll explain why in a second, but it was a small van job. It was saying 31 miles. That's going either straight through the centre of London or North Circular. and if from the West 3, you're not probably going to do that to Upminster. You're going to come up around the M25. So I put £50 on it. The other thing was it was a 3 hour, was it 2 hour, 3 hour window to be collected, and it was literally at the start of that 3 hour window, and that always tells me they're looking to get the lowest price possible. It was going to Upminster, and the reason it was of interest was I'm only doing a half day today. There's 6 of us have been friends from school, and we lost one of those last week, so the rest of us planned late last night that we're going to meet up for lunch and have a beer. Yeah, so I need to get Upminster anyway for about 1 o'clock, so that would have been perfect, but didn't get that job, so that's it. I'm just going to do that one job today for £70. Other things are more important, and that'll be it. So I hope you've had a good day. I'll put this out later on this afternoon anyway. We'll go again tomorrow. Hopefully the next 2 days, it does seem to be picking up, so hopefully in the next 2 days we can have a couple of decent ones, but we'll see. Anyway, take care, good luck on the roads, good luck with the work, and we'll talk tomorrow. All the best. Cheers, Paul.